Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Glory podcast. We're getting ready for Glory 43 at Madison Square Garden Friday night in New York City. And joining me now is, of course, Joseph Valtellini, my broadcast partner, and the fifth-ranked lightweight in the world today, Josh Jauncey. Big round of applause by anyone? There we go. Wow. Hey, you ready to fight Friday night? How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel calm, relaxed. Everyone's always asking me, you excited, you excited? No, I'm relaxed.
You had a little different, from what we saw, you had a little different training regimen getting ready for this fight. We saw you go down to Las Vegas and train at Mayweather's gym.
Yeah, I was there for a few days. Wasn't there for too long. I was in Vegas for a wedding of my friend. And while we're there, I thought, hit up the Mayweather gym and, work my hands a little bit. So, yeah, that's what I did, and it was good. It was a cool experience. And, it was surreal, to be honest, going into the place at first. That was real cool. It was real cool. Maywether's probably one of my favorite boxers of all time, so.
Did you get to see him training or anything down there?
Nah, he wasn't in there. He wasn't there. Apparently, he went in there the day after I left. Okay. But I did pads with his uncle Jeff.
Okay, yeah, we saw that. That was on the Inside Glory.
Exactly, and with Dewey Cooper as well, which is a kickboxer from one of the legendary American kickboxers. There's not too many high-level American kickboxers, as you know. So it's cool to be able to see train with one of the best ones, and. Yeah, it was a real cool experience. I enjoyed it.
Now, I asked you this in the pre-fight interview. It's like a lot of fighters are all stuck to one style, but you seem to travel and go to different places. I know in your last camp you went to Thailand. This time you were in Las Vegas. How do you implement that back to your style without being overly confused? Because I know a lot of fighters get too much information, but you seem to do a good job at taking little things from it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do. I pick and choose. My overall game is like a puzzle, and I pick little pieces from all over the world, and I take it back home, and with my dad and my brother, we sort of put it into my own style, put it into the Jauncey style, into the Josh style, whatever you want to call it. We put it into that, and I leave some of the things that didn't work for me. They might be great for other people. It didn't work for me. I'll leave those over there, and I keep the things that are good for me. Like you said, I've trained in Holland for a long time. I've trained in Thailand now. I've trained, I went to Vegas. I've done boxing with lots of different people. I've trained with so many people. I've even gotten the chance to train with like Rob Carmen and that. And again, I take little things and I keep the ones that work and for me, and I leave the other ones.
You even went to Brazil at one point, didn't you, with Jose Aldo?
Yeah, trained with Aldo. Pick some things from him as well. Whether it be techniques themselves or just sort of drills, ways of training, that kind of stuff. You just take little things. I learned a lot at a boxing gym in Holland. Muscle Fit, I learned a lot from there. From Andre Mana, I learned a lot from him too. I trained with him when I was about 15 and 17, and I learned a lot, especially when it comes to discipline and that kind of thing from Andre. I've trained with a lot of people, and it's a privilege. It's really a privilege. I'm glad I've had the opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have that in my life. It's taken my game up to the next level. That's why I think I've been able to go so far with kickboxing when I'm from a place that doesn't really support kickboxing or have big kickboxing, how it is.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
So I've had to take myself out of my element, put myself in sort of, I guess you could say, uncomfortable situations in order to grow. I mean, I got smashed over in Holland when I was like 15, sparring with pro fighters. And I was getting beat up, but then the next day I was like, well, I don't want to get beat up again, so I better do something better next time. So you have to push yourself into hard situations, and that's how you go up to the next level.
For sure.
Joe got smashed in Holland too, but that was in the red light district, so it's a little different. Hey, so you trained at Mayweather's gym. You've
changed the subject.
Muay Thai, boxing. I'm sure a little MMA, kickboxing. You know all the combat sports pretty well. Mayweather, McGregor. I'm sure you've been asked this already.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who's going to win. Tell me what kind of fight is it going to be. What's it going to look like?
It's going to look like McGregor trying to attack, but always being one step behind Mayweather because his footwork's not going to be there. His footwork's not going to be. People underestimate or people don't realize, like Mayweather's dad said, or uncle, most people don't know shit about boxing. They don't. Boxing is another animal when it comes to footwork and the technical small aspects of it. And
like distance control.
Distance control is huge. Distance control is huge, and people don't seem to take that into account. They just think it's about hitting hard and that kind of thing, and different styles, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, different styles, but while McGregor has some boxing experience, and I love McGregor, I think he's wicked, but he has some good boxing experience, but it's the footwork that I think is going to be a difference. Footwork in boxing is so far ahead of MMA and kickboxing as well. Most kickboxers have terrible footwork. Most of them,
sure.
Most of them have terrible footwork, but you see guys like Doumbé, see guys like Israel Adesanya, and Rico Verhoeven, and myself, you know.
How was his footwork?
He had good footwork too.
Not great, just good?
No, it's distance control. I'm telling you.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You know, is being when you can control the distance, it changes everything, you know.
Do you think McGregor, as soon as I heard he was talking to Mayweather, I was like, Mayweather's like the worst possible style for him to fight. If he were to come over and challenge Manny Pacquiao, he'd probably still lose, but at least Pacquiao's going to give him some openings and be a little more aggressive. Whereas Mayweather, I would think, is just going to play it safe and just pot shot him all.
Yeah, well, well, Mayweather exactly is going to avoid him, but I think people have tried to say, oh, but Mayweather's had trouble with southpaws in the past. Yeah. But these are some of the best southpaws out
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
You know, this you know, that's
What
like
was it,
that's some people say that, you know, might say that about me, but you have to remember the southpaws that I've fought: Hinata, Petrosian, Sidichai. They're the 3 best southpaws out there. You know, aside from maybe Jauncey, who I haven't got a chance to fight and now he's retired. But you know, these are the best guys out there. So yeah, it's whether they're orthodox or southpaw, they're going to be hard fights regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just adds an extra element to it. But again, it's going to be like me on Friday. You know, I'm fighting another southpaw, just like Mayweather's fighting a southpaw. But it's not. It's a different level of southpaw. It's no, you know, it's a Petrosian. It's you know, it's not a Petrosian.
So just for the record, you're picking McGregor to win.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm taking. But unless I could see also some crazy marketing thing where they try and make it a no contest and so they set up a next rematch.
But what does that affect Mayweather's record that he's been protecting for so long?
It would. But I wonder what matters more to him: more money or his record? I don't know.
I think he's got enough money. I would hope he'd want to keep that record.
They're saying he's got tax problems.
Really?
That's what they're trying to say right now. Who knows if it's all just hype? I mean, you never know these days. Everything is marketing. You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. They say he's got some tax issues, so you don't know. And you know.
I just think it's a different sport in general.
It is a different sport.
If Floyd or Conor came to the glory ring to fight you in kickboxing, you would dominate.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? I just think they're totally different.
Conor, you think? Dominate him?
He doesn't like low kicks,
No.
and he doesn't like throwing low kicks. It hurts his shins.
I mean, you're fighting 154 pounds. That's kind of his weight now. So it'd be.
Yeah. Oh, I think Josh would, no hands down, easily.
I don't think it would be easy. I don't think because he has got very good
timing.
He's got very good timing, and you know he's good to slip off that right hand and give his left. He's very good at that, like Petrosian is as well. And I'm not saying it would be an easy fight, but he has a very wide stance, which would make him very easy to low kick. And he wouldn't want to block it because his shins always hurt.
Well, was his stance that wide because he's
doing MMA?
Well, he's doing MMA and thinking, hey, the takedown might be coming.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It could be that. I've never seen him just standing up without the worry about takedown. So who knows?
Enough about McGregor.
Yeah, enough
about Mayweather. Let's talk about you, Elvis Gashi. This guy's fighting you on short notice. No one's ever beaten him. What do you know about him?
Well, short notice. He's had at least 4 or 5 weeks. It's not that short. As far as
he was
I
going
know.
to fight on the undercard, from what I was understanding.
I think he was going to fight on the undercard, and they moved him up. I think 3 weeks ago. I think.
Oh yeah. Well, they told me long more. You know,
either way, he says he's ready.
Yeah, good. That's good. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's ready. I would like him to be ready. I don't want to fight a guy who's unprepared. Yeah, you know, he's undefeated, 18-0. That's a damn good record, better than mine. He's got like 107 amateur wins with only 3 losses or something like that. I mean, he's got a damn good record. This he has potential to do some damage, you know. But will he? That's the question, you know. Can he touch me?
Because we were talking to him in the interview, he's super confident. He was saying stuff like his power is going to be the difference. He feels that he's the power puncher, the power hitter, and he feels that's going to be his difference.
And that's unfortunately that's all he's got. Yeah. His thing is he uses power as a strategy, whereas using it as a tool is much more effective. If you're going in there just because you've got power and you're just trying to knock him out, and that's all you got is your big punches.
More predictable.
If I make you miss, then what? What's plan B? You know what I mean?
Back to the McGregor-Mayweather fight. That's what he's
exactly.
doing.
What's plan B?
I'm gonna knock him out in 4 rounds.
Exactly. So meanwhile, I've got great timing. I've got great speed. I've got power. I've got precision. I can kick. I can punch. I can knee. I can move. So if one doesn't work, what's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? I've got plan A, B, C, D. I got it all down to Z, you know? So, and if Z doesn't work, I go back to A and then mix it around, you know what I mean? So, but I'm glad he's confident. I want him to be confident. I hope he rises to the occasion, fighting this is a big, high-level fight. I hope he rises to the occasion. I hope he gives me a good little, a good little ruckus, you know? I like that, but yeah, we'll see on Friday. But I don't know. I just don't see how his power will be any bigger than some of the other guys I've fought, any of the guys I've sparred with. But again, crazier things have happened. I've been knocked down before. He could knock me down again, but he has to knock me out in order to win the fight, because every time I get knocked down, I come back so much stronger every time.
And I mean, this fight's taking place at Madison Square Garden, right? So what does that mean to you? I mean, we said it, like, for our situation being from Canada, it's hard to get that big home feeling, but I think the next best thing is probably Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah, I guess, you know, I mean, for me, because I've always been a kickboxer. Since day one, I've been a kickboxer. So for me, and before I really liked boxing, I was watching kickboxing. It's only the last.
Who was your favorite fighter growing up?
Hands down favorite fighter, Ernesto Hoost. He was my favorite from even when I was a kid.
Bob Sapp beat him twice.
Yeah.
He keeps bringing it because Ernesto was my favorite, obviously. So he always brings that. That's his favorite line.
Did lose to
but there's a great example of an underdog coming on top. You know, you never know what's going to happen on Friday. Maybe Elvis will do something good. You never know. But he won't. But, but you know, yeah, Bob Sapp beat Ernesto Hoost. You know, anything can happen in the kickboxing ring. You know, three-minute rounds is enough time for, and it's so explosive, anything can happen, right? But yeah, no, Hoost and Bob Sapp was silly, but Hoost was the man. Hoost was really the man. You know, him and then Remy came along, and I love Remy as well. But those are my two favorite when I, you know, immediately. And then once I started growing up and K-Max started coming along, then it was Andy Souwer, Bacau, and Masato. And but Andy always stood out for me, and that's why my dream was to go train with him, and I was able to get that. You know,
how deep were you in the sport when Joe started making a splash on the scene?
I hadn't heard of Joe until he got into Glory. I think I maybe heard a little bit when you fought in Lion Fight. Okay. I remember my brother saying, "Oh, this Joe guy, Bazooka Joe from Canada," and you'd think I would hear from him in being in Canada, but I hadn't, because the community is so spread out over there. It wasn't very connected.
When you're on the complete opposite side.
Yeah, it wasn't very connected. But then I heard it, and then my brother was like, "Whoa, this guy's got a hard right hand," and he's talking about
right hand. Yeah, that's the first thing he said.
That's the first thing he said, was the right hand, and then from that, all of a sudden you started a little bit more, and I was like, oh shit, well, who knew there was other good fighters in Canada? You know, I thought I was alone, and then I met Varga, like, oh shit, he's good too. It looks turns out we've got quite a few.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, it just seems that us Canadians preferred kickboxing over Muay Thai. If you got to think, like, I know from my understanding with your career and Gabe Varga's, we held off on the full rules fights because you wanted to stick strictly with kickboxing. Right?
Well, I mean, also, and we in BC there was no full Muay Thai rules fights really ever. It was only modified Muay Thai, so there's no elbows and a bit of clinch, and they usually broke you and that kind of thing. So that's just it's just what we kind of did. It never really got into the elbows because there was no point, because I could never fight with the elbows. But coming from the background of the way my dad fought as well. My dad fought full Muay Thai a few times.
Oh, full, okay.
A few times as well in Hong Kong.
But mostly kickboxing rules?
Mostly kickboxing rules in England. I don't think he did any of those. I think he did a couple of those when he was like young, like low smokers, and like when he was like 16. Okay. But after that, it was mostly all with low kicks, because his low kicks were his thing. Okay. He smashed a lot of guys with his low kicks, and he's kind of passed it down. But yeah, you know, kickboxing has always been more of my thing, and always watching K1, and my dream was to go fight in the K1 Max back when I was a kid. For sure. You know, like I was saying before, you talk about Madison Square Garden. For me, it was like Saitama Super Arena or Tokyo Dome. That was my Madison Square Garden.
How would a Super Max tourney do now, you think?
How would I do now?
How would it do now? How high up in weight would you go to challenge for? If there was $1 million prize, what would be the top weight you'd be willing to go in there at?
Well, K-Max was my weight. The K1 Max was my weight class, so I wouldn't have to do nothing. But well, yeah, I don't know. I would go up to like maybe 77 or something like that. Yeah. You know, but K-Max was my weight, so that's why I made sure I was around this weight.
See,
Always.
I had to fight because I was always 165 pounds, 170 pounds. So I wanted to make the 155 limit, which was way too hard. So I'm happy that Glory has all these different weight classes now, because I was able to find a home at welterweight. But trying to make lightweight was brutal.
Well,
I made 159 once and I almost died. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So
well, it's like you see that, like, especially at the beginning of Glory, and still now, but really at the beginning, the 70-kilo division, the lightweight division, was stacked.
Always.
It was stacked. And the heavyweights were just kind of, all the top heavyweights from K1 were getting older and starting to retire and that, so there wasn't as many. But the beginning of Glory, again, it was stacked. They did like that top 16, the Grand Slam in Tokyo, and so like the beginning of Glory, there was still the remnants of K1 there, where there was loads of guys at 70 kilos, loads of guys at heavyweights, but not much in between, because everyone was working so hard to be a 70 or be a heavyweight.
And then that's when guys like Myrtle Grunhardt said, screw it. He went up in weight. Arthur Kashenko went up in weight.
I mean, he's huge now.
Well, Van Roosmalen's fought, I think, at 170, and now he's down at 145.
Robbins fought.
Who did he fight? Who did he fight? I'm pretty sure it was 170.
No.
Way back.
No, he's never. He's never
fought Myrtle.
Yeah, but that was 55.
That was 155, because Myrtle used to fight 155 pounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of these guys who are now fighting at 77 kilos or 170.
Nicky Holtzkin.
Exactly, and you could say they didn't perhaps meet their full potential at 70 kilos because they were cutting so much. That's what Nicky says, anyways. And I can believe that. I can understand that too. Also, the 77 kilo division is also a lot more shallow than the 70 kilo division. There's a lot more talent in 70 kilos. That's why I want to be here. Also because that's my natural weight, to be honest. Like, I don't have to work that hard to get down to 70 kilos. So that's why I like this weight. But for me, it's the most exciting. The guys are fast. They hit hard, technical. It's the most challenging. It's a good weight for kickboxing.
I want to get your thoughts on our main event on Friday, Pavel Zurlev and Saulo Cavallari. Zurlev looks like a freaking bodybuilder. He's this wide, his muscles. He told us he benched 385 the other day, 385 pounds. How does someone that yoked still be good at kickboxing when you think he's got to come in and swing like this? I mean, he's a freak.
He's massive, that guy, man. He's a big guy. He's a scary dude.
He's very scary.
I don't lift too much weight, so I don't know if 380 is good. I imagine it is, but. He's good. I like him. He's aggressive. He's raw. You know, he's nasty when he fights, and I like that. Cavallari's got an awkward style. He looks like Cavallari looks like the type of guy who it hurts to hit. It hurts to hit him.
Hurt your hand?
No, just in general. He seems like the type of guy who's a very
solid bone.
Yeah, a very dense man. So when you low kick him, it probably hurts you a bit too, and that kind of thing. And you're probably the type of guy who puts his elbow in the way of stuff and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you've sparred and you know fighting, or you fought, you know people like that who are just. Then they don't seem particularly good, but they just hurt to hit, and you're like, God damn it! And then they'll do awkward stuff. They'll do awkward stuff that hit you, and you're like, how did that hit me? But it's just weird.
That's the only way I do well in the sport. That Todd Grisham, he hurts to hit. I tell you what.
You look like you'd be fun to hit. I think.
You should try a little bit.
Take a couple shots.
Test it out. But his jab, man, he'll be jabbing you all day. He's got a vicious jab.
Push kicks, just keeping you away. That's it.
A solid jab is so important. Yeah. A solid jab's important, man. Like I've sparred with some guys with solid jabs, and goddamn, it's annoying. That's why I started developing mine, because I was like, nah.
Who's your favorite fighter in Glory right now? Obviously, besides yourself, I'm sure you love yourself. But like, who's the one guy you look at and you're like, man, this guy is a badass?
Doumbé's dope.
Cedric Doumbé.
I like Doumbé.
Well, he likes you.
Yeah, I know. It's a mutual respect. He's dope. I like his style. I like his flash, and I think he's funny. And
now Holtzkin complains about him. He says, "Is this what Glory's about? A guy that runs around the ring and just
he's not running. He's not running. He's just not doing what you want him to do.
Exactly.
He's not standing there and taking your full combination and not interrupting you and letting you look good. He's making it awkward for you. He's making it difficult for you, and it's frustrating. I can understand it'd be frustrating to fight Doumbé.
Yeah.
But that's why I like it. It's cool, and he makes you miss, and I love guys who can make people miss, because in kickboxing, it's for so long it became just cover up, and then hit, rather than use a bit of dynamic defense, you know. And I like that. I think Doumbé's dope. He's cool. I hope he's champion for a long time.
That's why I even like the Israel Adesanya.
Him too. I really love Israel.
Guys can fight. I appreciate the guys who can mix those things, right? Like, if you watch that traditional, what people call that Dutch style, it's very more one-dimensional.
That's not traditional Dutch style was.
But that's what I'm going for. That's what people are terming.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be nowadays. But
what's your definition?
It wasn't.
Because it's constantly changing.
Rob Carmen, Ernesto Hoost, Andy Souwer, my favorites. You know, that was traditional Dutch style.
So how would you explain to the audience, like they're always constantly, they're going to talk as Dutch style as punch to low kick?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, when you talk about Dutch style, yeah, it's you know. Lots of like fast hands, take out the legs, good liver shots, that kind of stuff. That's kind of the thing. But it's a great mixture of boxing and a bit of Kyokushin, and it's got some Kyokushin aspects with, of course, the Muay Thai sort of kicks. You know what I mean? Like the way of kicking, not necessarily a lot of body kicks like the Thais do, but the way of kicking is more of a Thai style. But they have a nice combination of it, and it's not just cover up, cover up, cover up, walk forward and hit. It's, you know, you see the pioneers of it, the guys who started from Majiro Gym and Voss Gym and Chakariki Gym. They didn't do that. That's not what Dutch style was back then. It was they moved really well. They cracked the guys in the legs, because a lot of the North Americans and stuff and other Europeans, except for the French were very Thai boxing style. They were very Muay Thai style. But a lot of the other ones couldn't handle low kicks. Most people couldn't handle low kicks, so they would crack their legs all the time. And yeah, that's what Dutch style was. And I think
if you went over and lived full time and worked and went to Mike's gym or Hemmer's gym, do you think they'd be like, we need to kind of hone you in?
Probably, yeah. But that's why. But I had the opportunity to go to those gyms, but I didn't. I went with Andy Souwer, because he, in my opinion, is one of the last of the original Dutch style type of fighters that I liked.
And you got to think too. Look how old is Andy now? He's probably got to be mid
34.
Well, and he still looks like he's in good shape, good health mentally. So that movement style probably helped him out in the longevity of his career.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's never had a really serious injury, except for like maybe breaking a hand or something like that. Like when it comes to like his knees or his back and stuff like that, it's always just been very minor, if any minor injuries. You know what I mean? He's very lucky in that sense. But he's such a good fighter. You know, sparring with him was such an eye opener when I first did it. I first sparred with him when I was 15. I sparred with him, and he was preparing for a K1 Max or something like that. And I remember when he first came into the gym, I was with one of my friends from Canada as well. Tom, he'd come with me, and Andy came into the gym, and I went, it was probably like a little girl meeting Justin Bieber or something. I was like, holy shit, and I was like, Tom, that's Andy Souwer. And he's like, yeah, I know. And Andy came up, hi, I'm Andy. I was like, yeah, I know. You know? And but yeah, later on we got to spar a little bit, and you know, he said, oh man, it's hard to keep you in the corner, hard to keep you on the ropes and stuff. And he was like, I was working at like an 8 or a 9 or a 10 to try to keep you where I wanted you to be. And I was like, yeah, I was fucking working out at 25 to try to get out here, to get away from you. You know what I mean? But you know, his ring control is great. He keeps you on the ropes really, really well. Makes you panic, you know. But he was working real hard to keep me there. You know, so, and I was only 15. That's 9 years ago.
So it gave you that confidence. And
yeah. And you know,
he saw that potential in you.
Yeah, he's given me a lot of lessons when it comes to the high level of kickboxing. You know, and it's something it's hard to get in Canada, because not many people have been to that high level. But when you're with someone who's been there, you know, he's telling me how to throw low kicks in a way that people won't see it, as opposed to how I was doing it, where people will block it, no problem.
Anticipating,
you low kicks, you're making them too wide. Everyone's going to see them these days. You got to make them shorter. You got to make them quicker. You know.
So Ernesto Hoost, Andy Souwer, those are kind of your old school guys that you love. But like right now, you said it's Doumbé. Would that be your dream fight right now? You versus Doumbé?
To fight Doumbé? I am whatever.
I mean, what's your, like, when you envision, hey, pay-per-view, Jauncey versus so-and-so, what's the one fight that would just light your lamp?
Sidichai right now, because I want the belt. I won't say it, yeah. And I feel I fought him before.
Yeah.
He was.
What were you, 22 when you fought him?
Yeah, I was 22.
Tournament style.
It was a tournament. I didn't really train for him.
And he's just tough to beat just because he's. Well, I mean, Van Roosmalen, he's like, what do I do with this guy?
It's a different style when you haven't fought a Thai before. When you haven't fought a Thai ever, or trained with a Thai, even, you know, I hadn't even trained with a Thai. It's just a different style. It's a different time. It's a different pace. It's a different timing is different. There's a lot of things that they're very good at. Of course, they're very good at. The sport's hundreds of years old over there. You know what I mean? They've been doing it forever, so they're very good at it. So I didn't quite have the answers there, and it was only 3 rounds. Having 5 rounds now, that would be beautiful. I'd love to have 5 rounds against him. It's like with Petrosian as well. I wish I could have had 5 rounds against him as well, because the more rounds for me, the more chance I get to figure them out a bit. But you know, yeah, when I fought Sidichai, I was preparing for the first opponent of the tournament. That's who I was, because you can't get to the second unless you beat the first. So you got to beat the first. And I was preparing for Nicholas Larsson. And then he got that nasty foot infection, and he had to withdraw a week before the fight. So then I was matched up against Chris Busuku, tall, another Orthodox guy from France. Then he got pulled out the day of the weigh-in. So then I had to fight Jimmy Koulibaly. So it's just, and he was just a different fighter from Larsson completely. So really, I hadn't prepared for anyone. I was just fit. But I hadn't actually prepared for anyone that night, and I definitely hadn't prepared for Sidichai, a southpaw, Thai, completely different style. So, you know, no excuses. He's good. Obviously, he's good. He beat Robin, you know. So, he's beat a lot of great guys, really good guys. So, yeah, he's a difficult fight. But I think now that I'm making a little bit more money, I can fly someone over perhaps to help me train. Like I can bring over a Thai for some sparring, or you know. So I can do these things to try make my preparation better.
Was that one of the reasons you went to Thailand?
Yes. Yeah.
Strictly to learn the style, to see what they do,
to
how
beat
they train?
Sidichai.
To beat Sidichai. He's on your mind constantly, probably.
I would like to work from the inside. And when I say that, I mean I like to be like a mole. I'll go in and I go, instead of just trying to learn from the outside and watching, I'll go and do what they do. I'll go and do what they do, get their perspective of it, and then I go, okay, well, you know, I can see this will be open, and that's why when I go to these other places, I transform into them. For that time that I'm there, I transform into them. So the trainers, I'm doing exactly what the trainer says. Nothing of Josh style anymore. I do what they say. And I do what they say, and I go, okay, hey, I'm getting hit like this when I'm fighting like this. I'm getting hit with that when I'm fighting like this. And then I go, okay, that means I can hit him like that, and I can hit him like this. So I just, you know, that's how I do it.
I think that's a good approach, because I read a lot of, you know, the Book of 5 Rings, and it talks about you have to try different styles to know how good your style is yourself, right? So.
And there was times in previous fights, and like when I fought Petrosian, is that I was trying different styles in the fight, rather than trying it just in training and that kind of thing. I was trying it within the fight, and that doesn't work.
It's like golf. You got to hit the driving range. You can't try mid-round to switch your swing.
Exactly.
Up.
You know, like when I fought Petrosian, I was trying to emulate a little bit like Andy Risti, because Andy Risti knocked Petrosian out. It's really the only example to go by of how to beat Petrosian, because no one else has. You know what I mean? So it's the only blueprint there. So I'm like, well, I guess I got to kind of do it, kind of like Risti, but I'm not Risti. I'm not Andy Risti, you know, and I don't think I have the power that Risti has. I have more precision, and I'm more technical,
more power with your legs, maybe?
And I'm faster, and probably I kick harder, yeah. But he's got some weird power. I've heard from a lot of people, some weird power with the hands.
It's like he can just stiff power.
Yeah, he can just throw it boom from here and catch you, and you know. So I was trying to emulate someone else, someone I'm not, and that just didn't work out for me against Petrosian. But that's why I'd love to fight him again, because now I'm a little bit wiser, a little bit more comfortable with myself. With more trust in myself and my own style. I don't feel like I need to pretend to be anyone else in order to win. I can be myself and fuck people up just as easy.
That's a great message, right?
Yeah.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do.
And we like your logo. Can we get that logo? Is it on sale yet? Is your gear for sale? You got a website?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it already. Right now, you know, I focus 100% on the fighting. And the other things on the side, those are just distractions for me. So we're working on it. It's coming along.
Where can people follow you on social media and stuff like that?
Jauncey93. Jauncey93 on Instagram. On Facebook, it's just Josh Jauncey. Twitter, Jauncey93 again. Soon I think a brand who sponsors me, RYU, they might be doing some Josh Jauncey stuff soon. They've got my walkout gear is going to be all custom-made RYU stuff, so you can get kind of similar stuff.
Those who don't really have seen Josh fight, his walkouts are the best part, man. Like
I hope so. You know,
when you walk out, man, I get excited. I'm serious, because I know you bring out some good music, some good.
I think the best part is watching him fight. But if you like the dancing
and
the pomp and circumstance better, that's
it's the start. You got to warm up, man. You got to warm up.
But he's a guy like me who's watched K1 and that kind of stuff, and seen guys like Masato and all that, and that was part of the show. You know, it was part of the thing. Is part of the excitement of it. Is people's individuality when they fight. It's not like the UFC where, not to talk badly, but I mean, it's just the same thing every time. You don't even hear their music. They just walk out and it's the same thing. But we got to see the man and what he does. You know, if you're going to do anything, you got to do it with style. Otherwise, there's no point doing it at all.
I remember, like, if I envisioned myself as a kid, I don't even envision the fight half the time. I just envision walking down. I just wanted the fireworks, the smoke. That's one of the best parts for me.
Well, I worked at WWE for 8 years, so I know about the entrance. The Undertaker, the doom and gloom music and the smoke. That's what it all was.
Yeah,
and they get to the ring.
show,
It's like,
man.
well, I don't want to see him wrestle. I just want to see him walk down.
There's somewhere in between, and that's where I think kickboxing should be. Is somewhere in between. Yeah, let's get some of that show. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko, but that was great. Klitschko and Anthony Joshua went on this cool big platform, and it had AJ in the back and had fireworks and blah blah blah. And he's you're a fighter. Yeah, you're a fighter. Not many people, most people in the world avoid a fight at all costs. At all costs.
That's me.
Most people,
Why would I?
Like 98% of the world.
Well, I got 3 kids. I mean, what am I going to do? I beat someone up, then what? Great. I lose. My face gets mangled. I'm not on TV.
You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you haven't got much to lose in that department.
Tap out.
I like it.
Oh, Damien, you son of a bitch. He slapped me last time we did an episode. He came in here and slapped me. Hey, man, I know you got to roll, so, man, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Josh Jauncey.
Right,
if you want to get some cool gear, go to gloryshop.com. You can get our official New York Glory t-shirt. Also, Joseph Valtellini. Plug your gear.
BazookaSquad.com. Join the Bazooka Squad.
I'll join the crew. One day you can get Josh Jauncey stuff, I guess.
Make sure
you
ready.
Follow my stuff on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and follow WKX Vancouver, my gym, my father's gym, is where I learn how to do everything I know. And check it out.
All right, Glory 43, Friday night, New York City, Madison Square Garden. We'll see you then.